Hey everybody, this is Jessica Lynn from Jessica Lynn Original Studios at JessicaLynnOriginal.com. Happy holidays! Today we are going to make a really fun 5x7 piece of art. Now you could scale it up to a larger size if you wanted to, but it's going to be inspired by using our brother ScanNCut, as well as using a digital image that we're going to download from Etsy. And of course it'll have a little bit of Disney to it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look. This beautiful image, I love it. It's a little bit of Tinkerbell, and it says the most magical Christmas ever. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase this from Etsy. And what I like about digital downloads out of Etsy, or actually any location online, is that you get them right away. So I don't have to wait. If I'm impatient and I want to craft right now, I would just go out to this website, purchase this digital, or any digital that you're thinking about doing this to, and then we'll go ahead and create. So we're going to go ahead and say that I purchased it, which I did, and then I went and put it into my file. So let's go and find it in our collection of websites and images. I know it's in here. Oh, there it is, right next to those hitchhiking ghosts. Now, if you have a brother ScanNCut, it's a little bit different, okay? You're going to go ahead, you don't just get a file imported into you like you would with a Cricut. With a brother ScanNCut, you actually have to make the cut file yourself. It's not hard, just takes a little bit to do it if you've never done it before. So go ahead and print out your digital image. Now I suggest making it black and white like it is here. And then go ahead and print it off to the size you want it to be on your final project. You're going to go ahead and take your brother's ScanNCut and you are going to scan it in. So let me go ahead and just add some tape because my mat, they lose their stick entirely too fast. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that it's not going to move anywhere. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and scan it in. What it will do is just like a scanner, you know, like if you're going to scan an image to print or whatever the case may be, it's going to scan it in, and then we're going to edit the actual image on the machine. So you can see on here, I'm going to choose, I want it to cut out with the spaces. See how I did that? I'm going to close it up just a little bit. There we go. And you see the middle one that I picked actually will cut it where it'll find the holes between the lettering and stuff like that. If I did the top one, it would give me the entire image as a solid block, and the bottom would actually cut out all the specific lines, which you don't want with so much text. So we're going to go ahead and save it that way, because I'm like, that looks pretty good. I did save it to my machine. And now we go back in and we find our image. So there it is. And you can see, look at how pretty it looks, all found. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put in a piece of paper and go ahead and cut that. Now, I decided for the first project to use green vinyl. How fun is that? So we went ahead and cut it out, and now what I'm using is this transfer paper to actually lift the letters off. And you can see I just have to rub on there just to make sure, because I still have the vinyl on the mat, and I don't want to miss any letters or rip anything. So make sure that you take your time during this part of the process, because this is really a big portion of what can ruin your project if you don't take time. Letters could shift, things could move, they could rip, especially with some of the vinyls that are out there, it could rip, and that's a huge bummer, especially after you took all this time to get everything prepared. All right, so we're going to go ahead and apply that. We're going to take all those little letter pieces off. And then the coolest part of this is that we're going to actually apply this to the outside of the glass of the frame. Now you may say, Jess, why would I do that, right? Well, I've been thinking about this project a lot and thinking about who you're giving the gift to, right? And maybe your aesthetic or your colors that you choose aren't necessarily the ones that they would fit in your house. And the goal really is that they're going to hang it up, right? So I bought this frame. It was $1 at the Dollar Tree. I mean, you really can't go wrong. You know, nice, quick, inexpensive gifts that look fantastic, you know, just fantastic, right? So we're going to go ahead and to easily cut out, you know, the full background, I'm actually going to use that, you know, that little insert with the family picture or whatever that's always in all those frames. We're just going to use that and cut out 2 of those. Watch how easy this is. This is, again, one of those, don't overthink it, just do it, right? So we're going to go ahead, cut this out, and then, once we have 2 of those, we'll actually apply the lettering on top. Now I would highly encourage you to use a ruler. Just make sure it's all straight on the glass as you're applying it. And here's the thing, I just want to say, you look at this and you go, wow, I really like it, but I'm not really a Tinkerbell fan, right? That's okay. This craft that I'm sharing with you, this paper crafting right now, it doesn't mean this is what you have to create. There are thousands of digital images out there. Just pick one that suits the person you're giving it to, or pick one that suits you. You know, maybe it's Mickey, maybe it's Harry Potter, maybe it's, I don't know, a silhouette of Jessica Rabbit telling you have a Merry Christmas. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, right? Everybody's got their own thing. So I hope that this, if nothing else, inspires you to go and create something original for yourself or for your family. Now you can see I'm putting it on there, just taking my time, making sure I am double checking that all the vinyl is stuck down very good, because I do not want it to come up. And you might say, well, why didn't I adhese it to, or place it onto the paper, right? And the reason being is that I want them to change out their background. You know, maybe for some reason that background that I'm going to pick with the berries and the leaves, maybe they might say that does not match anything at my house. Oh my goodness. You know, we're a super bougie family. We got like glitter and sparkles and the whole bit. Well, that's cool. Change it out to glitter sparkle paper. Maybe you're like, I just want very traditional, just white with the green lettering. No worries, change that out. And that's what I liked about this, was that it really gave whoever you gave this to the opportunity to, you know, bring this along for multiple locations of sharing. You know, maybe in one house it was perfect with this background paper, but maybe they move into a new house and they're like, oh, it just doesn't fit, right? I mean, how many times have you bought Christmas things and went, I really loved that when I lived at the apartment, but now that I live in the house, it's just not the same, right? So really what you're doing is just giving that person who you give this gift to options. Or if it's for yourself, I mean, it's giving you options. Maybe every year you change out the paper. I mean, that's so fun. I do like it, though. I think it's very cool, very fun. So let's make another one so I can show you an example. All right, let's go ahead and put some stripy paper on the back of this. It looks like a candy cane, so I just wanted to do something a little different. And I think you're going to see what a difference it really does make. You know, it really kind of surprised me even that it made such a difference, you know. So I kind of had the idea that it might, but then when I actually did it, watch how different this looks. Boom, look how cool that is, right? I mean, it has a little more of a vintagey feel, but again, you can pick any colors, any paper, anything you like. So please be inspired by that idea. I did put a couple of drops of some glitter on there. I'm trying to make it look like little snowballs, like she was making it little snowballs. So now I thought it'd be really fun to try something just a little different. I thought, you know, what happens if you do this in reverse? Because then I could layer paper underneath this rather than doing it by vinyl lettering. I can't wait to show you how this looks. It's so cool. So again, I'm cutting it out to the same size as the frame, nothing fancy. Just making sure my lettering is centered. Boom. All right. And yes, I'm using hair cutting scissors because they were the only ones on my table, but they're old. They're old. I don't use them for cutting hair anymore. All right, so here we go. So we've got it all lined out. All right, let me show you what we're doing here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stack paper in reverse. So remember the first one I made vinyl lettering for this. Now I cut it out so that I'm actually going to layer paper underneath to make a color and a pattern. This looks really cool. I'm going to tell you this one looks pretty fabulous, so I cannot wait for you to see it. So I'm just cleaning up the edges. I probably should have used one of those little sliding, like guillotine kind of scissor things. But I didn't, so I have to kind of deal with what I did. So now what I'm going to do, see if I put different paper behind it, I can make it look really cool. Now again, this paper, I like it, but in theory, it's just a little too busy. I love the candy cane paper. All right, so let's go ahead and start layering paper behind this magical saying. And I just have to say, I absolutely love this. And I accidentally threw away some of the letters, so you can see I'm drawing them in. But this one is my favorite that I think I've ever done. And what I love about it is that the most Christmas ever is just in the brown craft paper. And I love that there's the magical red and white. And then I love that I put Tinkerbell in the green sparkle, because it just has that Tinkerbell feel. Now let's frame this out. Wait till you see this one. They look so cool. I love these. And again, you can make them any size. So these are 4x6. You can make them 5x7, 8x10, 11 by, 18, whatever you want. It really just depends. Look at how cool that looks. I love that. I love that. And I love that I left a little bit of the tan craft paper around it. So cool. Well, here's all three that I decided to make today. Again, my name is Jessica Lynn. I'm the owner and artist of JessicaLynnOriginal.com. Please go ahead and subscribe to this video if you would love to get notification of more amazing videos. And then don't forget to like this. Take care, everybody. Merry Christmas.